Hey there, how's it going? How's your week? Mine's been okay. I mentioned last week how we got this violation on our house, and I've decided not to kill myself trying to make sure everything's perfect so the city doesn't have a fit. I just work on it like I usually do and go on with my life. And making progress. It's not perfect, but it's getting there. I am the worst at landscaping, by the way. Other than pulling weeds and chopping back the bushes, I don't know anything about how to make it pretty. Flower pots and all that, because every kind of plant that I get that I'm supposed to be in charge of, I end up killing. So I'm not sure how to go about that whole situation. But I have been working pretty hard trying to get things in order. We had a carport full of boxes that we had taken out of Bobby's room, and we got rid of basically all of them. There was a couple that we kept that had a few items that we thought we'd use for practice to learn how to sell stuff online. You know, I figured once we get the hang of it, we can come up with our own products and that kind of thing. So I got some patterns, all kinds of patterns. Some of them are in the book, and it's like a cross-stitch pattern or a sewing pattern for like dolls and stuff. But what's another one? What they call it? Plastic canvas. Got some plastic canvas stuff. And there's a few kits that have, you know, craft kits for making dolls and whatever. So we're going to try to sell those online and see how that goes. Have a couple of crutches and stuff. And then the other thing that's kind of funny is the city, when you go to throw away trash, you know, we did some construction work in our yard, and we ended up with these great big cylinder cement things about so big, heavy. And of course the trash people won't take it, and I've tried, you know, various ways of taking it. And then there's a company that'll take it, but they'll charge me $25 for something. I don't like fool you with that. And so I figured, well, my best bet was to take it and take a hammer and just pound the heck out of it and break it up in little pieces. So every day I spend about 15 minutes just whack with this hand, whack with that one, back and forth. And my wrists are actually getting pretty strong from that. And I got that great big block thing down to about that size, and then I said that's small enough, and I threw that one out and pulled out the next one, so it'll probably be another week or two before I get them all down. So that was fun. And as for the violation, I posted online a picture of my house covered in snow and a picture of the violation, and it's like, and the fact that I got it in certified, which was ridiculous. There was no justified reason for that. I would understand if it was justified, but it was nowhere near justified. And even when I called them, they said, "Oh, you're in compliance." If I'm in compliance, why did I get a violation? Well, we're just giving one to everybody. Didn't make any sense at all. I talked to the supervisor and all that. And so I posted it on Facebook just to see how people would react. And of course the ones who live in my area were like, yeah, that's annoying. And then others were like, wow, that's crazy. And the other part was that there's this tree next door, 100 feet high or whatever. It's huge. And it's dead. It's been dead for 3 years. It's been reported for 3 years by the owner of the house and by me, and they're not responding. So the response I got this time was, oh, they're 7 years behind on their work. And so yeah, we'll get around to it eventually. And so I'm thinking, well, shouldn't the city get a violation for that? Because having a dead tree that big can cause an awful lot of damage. And I told them so. I said, you know, fine, we will continue to report it, and when it does fall down, whoever decides to sue you we have the paperwork to prove that it has been reported. And the neighbor even said that he contacted the city, and the city told him that he was not allowed to, because he offered, I'll pay to, I'll cut it down myself, and the city's like, no, you can't do that because it belongs to the city. So the guy is damned if he did and damned if he didn't. So he's upset. He's not too happy about it. So that got reported again, and so this one of my friends said I can fight City Hall, that kind of thing, very, let's go picket them and raise a ruckus and stuff like that. And I started thinking about it, and I'm part of a group called Indivisible, who likes to address legal issues, and they seem to have a better way of attacking the issue, like right in front of the judge type of thing. So I said, I'll go try that. So I contacted them, and I showed them the picture of the violation, and I showed a picture of my house, the fact that it's covered in snow, and that was the day I got the violation. They, you couldn't even see the grass. You couldn't see anything. Everything's covered in snow, and I got a violation for not cutting my lawn and having long weeds, tall weeds and all that kind of crazy stuff. So I contacted them, and they're like, getting a friendly reminder that the city would like everything to be cleaned up is one thing, but to get a violation is a whole nother animal. And you have to be really guilty of something. And so they're going to address this with the city and make it clear that giving out violations just because you feel like it is not a good idea. And see if what they can do about it. And they can't say anything about our backyard, because the way the rules work is you can only give us a violation from what you can see from the street, and you cannot see my backyard from the street. So it doesn't matter. I can have all kinds of crazy going on back there, but if you can't see my backyard, you have nothing to say about it. Now granted, some of the weeds are kind of tall back there, but we mow it and take care of it as best we can. But we got big dogs, and we can't spray or anything like that back there, so we have to be kind of careful what we do back there. So anyway, we got that going on. And so I thanked her and everything, and she says, no problem. Thank you for all the information that you gave me. And I did clarify. I says, yeah, there was a couple of times we did get the violation, and it was deserving. And it was basically because we just bought the house. It's our first time homeowners. We didn't know what the rules were. We didn't know anything about this stuff. But at that time, the person who giving us the violation actually came up to the door and talked to us and walked us around the yard and showed us what we're allowed to do and what we're not allowed to do, answered questions, that kind of thing, which was awesome. And the last time that happened was 4 years, it had to be at least 4 years ago. That's before I got Gunner. And the guy, 4 or 5 years ago, somewhere in there. But anyway, the guy came over, and come to find out the neighbor's yard, stuff that was going on in the neighbor's yard ended up in my yard, which is why I got the violation. And there was other stuff going on in the back there that I didn't know about. And so I had to address that. And but that guy actually went from house to house and talked to each family, saying, you got a violation, this is why the violation, blah, blah, blah. And, and he also went, the back fence, come to find out there was something wrong with the back fence that we didn't know about, because who goes back and checks your back fence? But the fence that goes along the busy street, there was some stuff wrong with that, and so we went and took care of that as well. So that I don't mind. I don't mind that. It's like, okay, sorry, we have a problem, this is what's going on. I address it, no big deal. But to just get a violation for the fact that I got one and my house is covered in snow, please. So we are at least in a forward moving process of that. And then on Saturday I felt stupid because we went to Cherokee, and this guy in our group, he's Cherokee, but he it was one of those that was kind of fading out in his family, and so he wanted to bring it back. And so he's learning the language, he's learning the culture, and he's as old as I am, and he's come a long way, and he's been doing it for about 10 years. And he was showing all of his stuff that he's been doing, and I thought that was just really wow. And I wanted to kick myself from here to Kingdom Come because I forgot the camera. So you guys didn't get to go. I'm sorry. So I'm trying really hard to make it more of a habit to bring it so that we can have those recorded, because they are such awesome, awesome stuff that we have. So anyway, that was pretty much my week. Hope yours goes well. Have fun. Bye.